Continuing with partners in shidduchim Tehillim together, Kapitel Tes Vav 15. 15 is Yud K. Yud K, the letters Yud and the letters Hey. Chazal say in Maseches Menachos that this world was created with the letter Hey, and the world to come is created with the letter Yud. There's a lot of mystical meaning behind these two letters, but on a simple level, our job is to be able to connect both worlds. When we're living in this world, to realize, like the Mesilas Yesharim says, that our goal is to create the world to come, which is nitzchias, which is netzach, it's eternity. It's scary to even think about how powerful one word that we say, how much of an effect, not just in this world it has, but in the world to come. And that's what we're holding here in Kapitel 15. Pasuk Gimel, David HaMelech says that one of the greatest praises you could say about a person is Loi rogal al leshoinoi. A person did not say Lashon Hara. How important this lesson is. I recently was speaking to someone, and he was telling me he was davening for the Amid. So after he finished davening, so I said, "You have your site for your father?" He said, "Yes, I'm actually in Avelus. It's in the middle of his Avelus for the year." And then he told me about his father. I want to tell you about my father. My father wasn't religious. My father really didn't do many mitzvahs. But there's one thing I could tell you about my father. He said, my father never said Lashon Hara. If there was a conversation that was inappropriate, it was a negative conversation about someone, he would say, let's change the subject. I told this person, my friend, I said, I don't know if today there's something that a person could be praised more with than not saying Lashon Hara. It's the most destructive weapon that's out there. It's the Yetzer Hara's strongest weapon, and it's not just me saying this. This is what the Zohar HaKadosh and the Chafetz Chaim says and warns us, that so many of our tefillas can be shut down. So many of our tefillas could be kidnapped by the Yetzer Hara, by the Sam Hamavis, by the angel of death, by Lashon Hara. It's to give a little bit of a, it's almost like the old days, those that remember the Pac-Man game. It gets swallowed up. Mamish eaten up. The most amazing tefillos that we could have, suddenly it could be swallowed up by one word of Lashon Hara. And therefore, when we read this Tehillim, David HaMelech's praise of someone who's holding in a great place, let's take this into our heart. Let's be careful the next time that there's a possibility of Lashon Hara to somehow say, let's change the subject. Let's keep it positive. Let's make sure that our tefillahs are heard, because maybe that's what's holding back, like the Chafetz Chaim. Not even maybe, the Chafetz Chaim said that's what's stopping our tefillahs, and maybe that's the reason why we don't have Mashiach, and why do we need Mashiach? Schusoi shel David HaMelech yogen aleinu. We should be zeicher that our tefillah should be niskab b'rotzen, and we should be so careful that every word that comes out of our mouth will be able to be a positive word, and only when it's based on the lachas of hilchos Lashon Hara should we be saying anything that's negative about another person, when it's the to'elis, of course. Hatzlacha to everyone.